I've been setting this SSD in a caddy thing. This was very kindly sent over by Cy Frost, and Cy says, "Hi Steve, please find and close one solid state hard drive and caddy that will not work. I thought I would send it, see if you can get it to work. I hope you enjoy working on it and keep up the great and interesting videos." So thank you very much, Cy. This is the awesome box that he sent it in. And Cy is one of my Patreons, so I sent him a message saying, "Hi Cy, thanks for sending it over. Do you know if it's the caddy or the SSD that's faulty?" And he thinks it's the SSD. And he thinks it's the SSD, but he's not entirely sure. So let's go and plug it in to the PC and see what it does. Welcome back to Shaky Cam. I need to clean my keyboard. Ugh. Right, that's a bit better. Right, let's plug this in. This is really difficult with one hand. Oh, here we go, we're in. We get a blue light. Do we get anything up here? We do. What does that say? F is not accessible. Incorrect function. Oh, that's interesting. Or is it? Right, well, let's shut that down. And let's just do it one more time. Oh, the blue light's gone off, actually. Unplug. Plug it back in. Blue light back on. Same thing. Luckily, I do have another caddy, so I'm going to try it in a different caddy, see if we get a different result. Right, first things first, let's take this one out of here. Nice. Let's actually have a look at the SSD, see what it is. Oh, I'll make a right mess of this. Samsung. 1 terabyte. Nice. So it's a 970 Evo Plus M.2 SSD 1 terabyte. Right. And this one's mine, it's also USB-C. Let's pop it in here. Easy said than done. There we go. Well, it doesn't fit with that thing on. Yes, it does. Right, let's try that in the computer. Right, again, one-handed. I can't get this in shot because I'm going to hold it with my other hand. There we go, we're in. Do we get any lights on this one? No, but we get the sound. Oh. Right, we got no lights, but we didn't get the same error message. Let's have a look in Disk Manager. Right, create and format hard disk partitions. Right, is it there? Ooh, is that it? Unallocated 931.5 gigs. That's going to be it, isn't it? So does it just need a new volume? Well, let's give it a go. There we go. So it does work. So that should have... Where's my mouse gone there? Let's do properties. Yeah, 931 gig. So it looks like the SSD itself is actually alright. But let's just unplug it and plug it back in again just to make sure. There we get the sound. And there we go. Yep. New volume, F. Don't get any lights on this though. I thought it did light. Oh no, that's not a light. That's an arrow. Never mind. Praise the Lord, I've seen the light. Is there. Right. So for whatever reason, this caddy doesn't like that SSD. Oh, let's try it now. Now it's been formatted properly. Let's try it again. There we go. Light again. No, same thing. F is not accessible. There must be something on this caddy that isn't working. So I think we need to take this apart and see if we can see anything on this little board underneath. I mean, this is obviously not going to take me very long to take apart. There we go, it's done. So the stupid wrap will have to be at the end, which I'm sure will please everybody. Right, take that thermal pad off. So there's not a lot to there. Oh, there's more on this side. We've got a little chip here, we've got a chip here, I can see some capacitors, some resistors, the usual stuff. I think we need to look at these pins here. So let's get this under the microscope and check that out. Right, let's have a look at these pins in here. Well, first glance, they look absolutely fine and dandy, don't they? Let's just do the old solid test. Tweezers. Solid. 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 Right, I'll stop saying solid now. Right, well that's all lovely and
solid.
Well, let's just have a quick look around this board and see if we can... Oh, what I didn't look at is the USB port. Let's look at that. It's really difficult to look at because it's so close to the microscope. Right, there we go. That's a better view. Well, that looks alright to me. Yeah, let's look at the other side. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. We don't appear to have any bent pins. So I think that's all good. Right, well let's just have a look around the board. So we've got a couple of capacitors there. Quite a few there. There's another little chip there. There's nothing under that, I don't think. No. Okay, let's have a look on the other side. Two more capacitors, an inductor. Capacitors. Got a crystal there. 0 ohm resistor. I'm not going to be able to resist checking that. Oh, another one. And another one, right. There's a few things I can check here. I can check those 0 ohm resistors and I can check the capacitors for shorts. Nothing on the board looks out of place at first glance. Nothing looks burnt. Ooh, I can see if anything's getting hot though, couldn't I? Right, well let's do that. Let's see if anything's getting hot. I presume this needs to be in order to do that. So if I plug that back into the computer like that, and then just see if anything's getting warm. Right, let's plug it in. Blue light's on. You can't see it, but the same error has just popped up on the PC, and we are getting something warm. Not just my fingers. What's that? That's not massively hot though, is it? What is that? That's the main chip, which you would probably expect. That's probably normal. We'll go back to plan A, which was check for shorts on the capacitors and just double check resistors and stuff. Multimeter in. Continuity. We'll put black probe on this as a ground. And I'm just going to check all the capacitors for any shorts. Right, nothing on that side. Let's check the other side. Nope, there's no shorts anywhere. Let's check the 0 ohm resistors. Make sure they're resisting. Yep. And where was the other one? There's one there. Yep. And two more. I mean, it's very rare for a 0 ohm resistor to go, I guess, but you know I could never resist. Right, well, that didn't tell me anything, did it? I don't really know what to do. Check that coil. Yeah. Oh, there's another 0 ohm there. Oh. Oh. I thought that was it for a second. Right, I'm going to have a proper look around this board again. I'll check the resistors to make sure that they're resisting similar values to what they should be. But, yeah, I think I'm going to struggle with this. Right, I've been around the whole board and I couldn't find anything else. And I was on the verge of giving up on this. And then I spotted this. Check this out. So I was going around the board again, looking at everything, and I thought, let's have a tilt and have a look at these solder joints on these. So we've got some capacitors there, and we've got an inductor here. And I rolled along here, I was like, yeah, everything looks okay, the chip looks fine. And then I got to this, which is another inductor. And I looked at it and I thought, that doesn't look quite right. And that looks like a tiny hole in the side of it. And it also doesn't look right under here. It looks a little bit burnt to me. And that's the only thing that I can see that looks remotely off on this thing. I mean, it might be normal. That hole might be supposed to be there. But I'm going to take that off and just have a quick look at it. I mean, it looks like, look at it from the top. You wouldn't know anything was different there, would you? Right, so let's whack some hot air on this and try and get it off. I'm at, what am I at? 400 degrees C, 60 at 120, 50% airflow. Nice. Just while I'm doing this, I've had this problem before where you check continuity on an inductor and the continuity's there, but I've had one that's failed and the continuity's still been there. Oh, there we go, it's coming off. Nice. So I still don't really know how to test them. I mean, it looks a bit funny on the board as well, doesn't it, there? That might just be leftover flux or something. Right, well, let's have a look at this. Flip it over. Yeah, that's not right. It has, it's burnt here. Which is where that hole is. Right, so what kind of inductor is it? It's a 2R2. Is that a 2.2 microhenry? I don't know, I'll have to look that up. What I would have done in the past is just swap that over with something off a Nintendo Switch. Which has worked for me on numerous occasions, but the truth is I don't know what I'm swapping it over with. And I guess I've just got lucky. I did buy some inductors, but they're massive. I'll have a 2R2. Let's go and have a look at it compared to that. But I think it's going to be far too big for this. When I say they're massive, they're not, really. They're quite small, but they're not going to be as small as that. Right, there we go. 2R2. And look at the size difference. I mean, I don't think that's going to fit in the pad. And even if it did, it's like way thicker. So I don't think it would fit in the caddy. In fact, I know it won't. So that's not really an option, unfortunately. I could probably get it on the pads, but then the caddy's kind of useless unless I cut a hole in the top, which I don't really want to do. So the only other thing I can think of, I've got some through-hole ones that look a little bit like resistors. They're obviously retro ones. I don't know if they do the same thing, but they are inductors, and I probably do have one that's 2R2. Will that work? I'm going to try it anyway. This is what I'm talking about. Inductor kit. 200 pieces. 2.2 microhenry. Just need to double check that that's what it is, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. 2R2 is a code indicating the value 2.2 microhenry inductor. And there we go. 2.2, and it's these little things. Well, these big things compared to everything else on this board, but I figure that I'll be able to lie it flat and I'll still be able to get it in the case. I mean, this might not work, but I'm going to try it anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's still a lot fatter, isn't it? But it's not as big as that. It's like probably half the height of that. Let's give it a go. So if I bend these legs over, I don't think it matters which side goes where, but again, I don't know. Let's give it a go. I'm going to do it there, I think. I'll put it at the end here. Yeah, like that. And I can put a bit of Captain Tape underneath that component and that component. I can't see another way to do it. I don't want it touching the chip, that's for sure. Well, let's give it a go. Right, I think that's good. I actually don't think that is touching anything. It's not, but I think for added peace of mind I would do that. Let's just make sure it still fits inside the caddy. Looking at it, I'm not sure it's going to. How's it going? That one. I'm not convinced. I mean, the only other thing I could think of doing, yeah, it doesn't fit. Look, you can see it's bowing there. So it's going to be putting pressure on the SSD unnecessarily. The only thing I can think of is if I put it so it's here, you know, at the gap at the side. That's probably a better option, isn't it? Right, just give me a minute and I'll bend one into what shape I think that needs to be. Right, well that's the shape I've come up with. Interesting. So I'm thinking something like that. And then this hangs off the edge. I don't know. Let's just do the left leg first. Just need to turn this round, I think, to be able to do this. I mean, that doesn't look pretty at all, does it? But who cares? Yeah, I think that might fit in the case. Let's just tidy up these joints. I can't live with them looking like that. That's better. Right, we'll just give that a clean with some isopropyl alcohol. 99.9%.
Pure.
I mean, it looks ridiculous, but it might work. And I'm going to try and order some of those up. But I've looked before, and I couldn't see any that small. But I'm guessing I can get them from somewhere, so I'll have a proper look. But we don't even know if it's going to work yet, so let's see if we can fit this back in the case. And if we can, then we can test it. Please fit in the case. Oh, I put it right where that blooming clip is. What an idiot. Well, let me see where it needs to be, and then I'll try and move it. It needs to move down. Yeah. Alright, okay. The problem I'm going to have is it's going to have to go over these components. Unless... No, I can't really go the other way. It is only over that 0 ohm, though. Let's see if that fits in. Yes, it does. Right, yeah, that's much better. Right, so I just need to make sure it's not touching that 0 ohm resistor, and then we can test it, finally. Right, there's definite clearance over that, so I think for testing we're okay, and the right leg's definitely not touching anything. Yeah, you can see the gap over the 0 ohm, so we're good for testing. I'll put some solder mask on it if it works. Here we go. It all fits together nicely. Let's give it a test. Right, here goes. You can see in fact, you can see it right there. There's the inductor. Come on. We're in. Blue light. You made the noise, but nothing's come up. Yes! Amazing! I genuinely didn't think that would work, but it does. Thanks again to Si for sending it over to me. What a lovely repair. Better than factory. And it all fell because of this stupid holy inductor. Stupid holy inductor.
Wrap at the end, cause no taking apart. Let's do this quick, I'ma make a start. That's a Princess Wizard, Cooey Jingers, Web Claw. Timus, Mike the Bug, Lee Ben, Sigma 4. Anthony Dean, Badger Squatch, Frito TV. Christopher Shook before the HHG. Scott made a thing, James Fryman get the money. Dennis Braun, Mongolian, Michael Boogie. Dave Dots, Kip Hicks, Iconics. Sarah Cat, Jonathan Harden, Flux. Ben Rush, John Prusik, Weezy. Robert Patterson, Steve's the Panic Hippie. But Winklehead Shot, Ozzy B, Andy Banks. Frosty Cool Slug, Larry W, Kiss Ox. Nate Lucas, how long did that all take? 41 seconds, box and peace, paddle kick.